That's why I
That's
think
a
Drake got a
fact.
cheat code. Drake got a fucking cheat code.
Why?
Man, Drake speaking 15 different. Yo, he spoke Arabic on one of his last songs. Come on.
He knows what he's doing,
He
bro.
spoke Arabic. He
Spanish.
spoke Spanish with Bad Bunny. He has a song that I still listen to that is speaking Portuguese is running the Brazilian charts. Like what the that's why when as much as you be like, yo, hey, like you trying to like almost kind of gauge it like Jay to be like, all right, you're at the point where you're supposed to get out of here.
Yeah.
You have to realize this one is serving everybody. Like he's like McDonald's for real. Like he got like McDonald's might have a little hyphen over the name in a different country. That's Drake.
Before we get into the content, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. Look,
Definitely, yes.
Academics is not lying. He's not. And Drake is not the first artist that we've seen attempt to do that. Like Justin Bieber with Despacito.
Right.
But he's not the first artist to do it. It's just that Drake, because he is probably what we're all gonna look like in the future. Like, I think like dark-skinned people, just straight white people, Asian. I think like in the future we're all just gonna look beige. I think we're just gonna all look beige.
Okay.
So because Drake is like a future representation of us, he's just getting that natural love from pretty much anywhere. And the reason why I say that is because again, when Ak is saying, oh, he's gonna have a song where he's speaking Latin, people in Latin America, they're gonna be like, yeah, I could see us looking like that. When he has a song where we speak in Portuguese, or yeah, I can see us looking like. So it's easier for them to accept this very obvious. I don't want to say it like this, but appropriation of culture.
Brother, I have no idea what you're talking about. that is a different mindset of thinking. Like it's definitely a way that I have never thought of thinking. It's definitely unique. I will give it that he just appeals to all things, because there's been other people that like have fit that category, and I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's just that allows him to get away with it, because he does all, like, it's for real. Reggae, he's done all types of accents, and nobody's ever come for Drake for doing any of these accents. And I've been one of the people sitting back here like, why does he do this? Why does he do this?
I just told you.
Well, yeah, to sell tickets.
I don't know if I'm about selling tickets.
I know you didn't.
I said he's the future representation of what
right. I heard what you said. No, I definitely
okay,
I heard what you said. I heard what you said. Yeah. So, anyways, in the attempt to sell tickets, he wants to appeal to as many people as possible, and he knows that if he drops a track with another artist in another country, because I'm pretty sure these songs that he's making, none of them are him by himself. It's him featuring on everybody else's track. So these artists want him just as much as he needs them. It's a smart move, but I don't know about a future beige world that you have created for humanity. It's a little bit off.
I didn't create this world. And the reason why I could say that is because, look, Drake is a very popular guy. Academics spoke to it. You just spoke to it. He's making music, pretty much with the larger artists from every single corner of the planet. Now, when Drake does these things, what does that do for his brand? It makes him a bigger artist. What does that do for the girls? Girls want him even more. So what does that mean? It means that not every single girl in the world could smash Drake. So what do? They try to get with these light-skinned niggas that look just like him. And eventually they're going to have kids. Those kids will turn out looking like Drake and so on and so forth. You think this is coming out of nowhere.
What is amazing is your ability to take
left
a
field.
Completely separate point and then tie it directly to the first. That is amazing, man.
Let me tell you something. Drake said that Certified Lover Boy is not going to sound like anything he's put out before. It's going to sound totally different. I still believe Polka will be on this record. And the reason why, what I actually think, I think that Drake is a part of this plan to beige the entire world. Okay. And when this album comes out, it's going to be that big, make him that more popular. And before you know it, people are gonna be walking around looking like a pair of khaki pants. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Yo, you ever you see that Fresh Prince episode where Carlton's younger, Carlton's a little kid, and he discovers that he's black. He thought he was white.
Yes.
The whole time, and then he's like, wait a second, I'm black?
Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't know that the whole time. This is the future that you're creating. This is the future that you're creating. And I mean, listen, if that's where you want your people to live, that's fine. On behalf of the dark skin community, those with more pigmentation to them, we all know what this is, man. We all know what this is. Drake is just doing what dark skinned men have been doing for years with that chocolate. You know what I mean? We know girls like chocolate, even if they say they don't. And if their parents don't, then they especially do. See, and that's where you move to it, man. Drake is doing the same thing with music. He's just appealing to as many people as possible because he knows what talents he has. He knows what he possesses.
Well,
He knows.
I think it's a part of a much larger, darker, nefarious plot. But viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Why do you think Drake is trying to appeal to so many different nationalities? Do you think it's just about selling more records, the guy who sold hundreds of millions already? Or is he trying to take over
What you need to do when you pose these questions, don't make your opinion your side so obvious. Like,
well, I'm just
which side
saying.
you're on.
And look, speaking, and you know what, this could actually be beneficial. Listen, this one race thing could be very beneficial because,
Okay,
bro,
you need to cut this out.
No, seriously, like think about this for a second. If everybody looked the exact same, I'm not saying this is a good or a bad thing, but if everybody looked the exact same, what did we just have the other day? What was the big soccer match that was going on and all the racism going on right now? Because of what? Because of people's skin color? If everybody looked like Drake, this would not be happening. But what did actually happen with all the racism surrounded by the football game? I
Well, I mean, it's mainly three players. It's mainly three players that everybody's talking about right now. So we have Marcus Rashford, we have Jadon Sancho. Listen, if I'm killing these names, don't be mad at me, okay? And Bukayo Saka. Okay, so those are the three players. What happened at the end of the match? Well, for those who don't know, they went to penalty shots. It went past regulation, went past sudden death, went into penalty shots. And Italy ended up winning by a score of 3-2. There were 3 penalty shots that were missed by England. And it just so happened that the 3 people that missed them were dark skinned, were black. Right? So immediately after this, on Twitter, on Reddit, and mainly on this one platform called Telegram, people were hitting these guys with comments immediately referring to the fact, suggesting that this is the downfall of diversity and why we should all just stick to our own races and why it should be one race, because Italy is a team mainly of white guys.
Well, yeah, hello.
England is a team of many colors. It's a very diverse team. The attacks against these guys have been focused on that. The fact that England decided to diversify and they weren't the predominantly white team that everybody else wanted is the real reason that they lost.
You know what's super funny, and I just want to point out one thing before I speak to that, is these channels that you were talking about.
Right.
COVID conspiracies, Donald Trump conspiracies. This is the birthplace of those. So just to lend some credibility to what they're saying. But what's kind of interesting as well is, and I may have missed it. So let me know if I did. But this was the finals, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the final match of the Copa.
So they had to play games leading up to this point to even make it to the finals. So I'm aware of that. So where was all this hate for these 3 brothers when they were helping your team excel to the finals? Where was the hate then? Where was the issue with the diversity then? It should have been like, hey, niggers, you should be happy that you're a part of this team. All these white guys are taking you to the final. Where was the hate then? Additionally, I got to be honest with you, man. I'm not that surprised about this at all. I mean, it does suck. That's a lot of pressure. If you know anything about football, the fans are extremely passionate. They take time off work, and that's putting it lightly. But not really. You're losing money. You're willing.
No, they literally take time off of work.
Yeah, you're losing money exactly to watch a football game.
There's countries that shut down on purpose because they know this will happen.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is, and when I say I'm not surprised by this, I think it was Brazil. And it was something similar where the goalie or something. All I know is as soon as the nigga got off the plane, it was a problem. So they don't play around. So what are we talking about? We're talking now, by the way, I'm not saying that the threat shouldn't be taken seriously, because hello, of course it should. When somebody's threatening your life, no matter how they're doing it, it could even be by mail. Take it seriously. But this is the era of social media. We're talking about football. We're talking about the finals. Of course threats are going to come. Let me tell you something, man. If England would have won the game and the roles were reversed, there would be threats against the Italian players. It just wouldn't be of a racist nature. Or maybe it would. Maybe you would have had some black Italian niggas like, God, I don't want to butcher the language, but you know what I mean? So I'm just saying it's football. It's not right. It's not right. I'm just not surprised. That's all.
I think it's dumb. I don't get it. I don't get why when people want to be mad at something, the first thing that they decide to go to is color. And then when they want to celebrate something, the first thing that they go to is color. Why it always has to go to that first? Somebody could be born beside, like could be born in the hospital room beside a white person in that country. And for some reason, just because their skin is a different tone, they are not accepted at all, which is very confusing to me. In fact, you could have a black baby born in the exact same birth room as somebody who is white, and they can be considered not acceptable by that country for some reason, even though they came on this earth the same way. It's crazy to me. The fact that this was focused and mainly these attacks are coming from the US and UK, to me, makes it even worse, because these are countries where obviously racism exists, right? But you expect people who are more educated, or supposedly supposed to be more educated, being able to understand that this is just a sport, and at the end of the day, these are human beings, bro. These are not superheroes with Teflon coat. This is not a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? This is real life. So these people have families and things to go to. My biggest issue is the fact that, you know, I want to know how you feel about this, actually, because I know how you feel about the censorship and just the way that YouTube kind of clenches down on some of the content that they'll allow and what they won't allow and all that type of stuff, right? You have a platform like Telegram. Telegram is a platform that has a totally hands-off approach when it comes to censorship. They don't censor anything, and that's part of their staple. But in that, it allows for people like this to push their agendas, to push their hate agendas. You know what I mean? Versus a place like YouTube, which kind of does a lot of policing. It does a lot of moderation, but it also protects from stuff like that, like this happening. So, you know, if you had to choose a platform, which platform would you rather be on?
Well, I mean, to answer that question, YouTube. At the end of the day, it's just about responsibility. I would rather be on a platform that exercises some form of responsibility. I do think you need to have freedom of speech, but there's also such a thing as hate speech, which is just right around the world globally condemned. Nobody supports hate speech. So I would not want to be a part of a platform that supports that. People could see this video, they could say whatever they want. You know, they can have any type of comment that they want. My skin thick, but at the same time, like, you can't just come on here and be ignorant. And guess what? I like the fact that YouTube blocks some of the comments. So yeah, YouTube for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm just gonna say where I stand. Obviously, I'm about moderation. Obviously, you got to control it so that these type of things aren't allowed. If you couldn't tell, but I mean, I'm just gonna say what I had to say, I guess, just cause. But you know, bringing it back to the three players and everything like that they have to deal with, you know, they've been getting a lot of support from the team, obviously from elected officials, from the higher ups in Britain. I don't know how they categorize them there, if they're princes or duchess or dukes, or I don't know who they are, but they've been getting a lot of support, and that's something that I like to see from a country immediately and from these people immediately, because a lot of times, man, these things will happen and countries will wait until the right moment, until they can get the right publicity to really say anything about these things, really. Right. And the fact that they're coming out just off rip, you know what I mean, and giving these guys their flowers, because like you said, they made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, what the fuck are you people talking about?
What are we mad about, people? What are we mad about? It's between two teams. They got silver. Okay, they didn't get gold. but they got silver. You know how many teams got participation ribbons?
No,
Should
but
those people be criticized too?
No, listen. In all fairness, the English people have a right to be pissed off. They do. Like you said, they lost 3-2. There was 3 penalty kicks. They had 3 chances. Be mad. You have every right to be upset. You took the day off work. I like, come on, you're a sports fan. You know when you're upset. Be mad. But also at the same time, be thoughtful, man. Like you said, these are human beings. They didn't miss the penalty kick because because they were black. They didn't. Because guess what? If they were really that bad because of their skin color, they may have made the team to fill a quota, but they wouldn't be getting no minutes like that.
They wouldn't have been kicking those kicks. How about that?
So what are we talking about, man?
You get to choose 5 people. You get to choose 5
exactly.
people on an entire team.
They wouldn't have chose them. Listen, but you know what? None of this would happen in the year 3000 when everybody's beige. So don't worry. Certified Lover Boy's coming out soon. We're all going to be beige. But viewing public,
has to die
what are
immediately.
your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Be respectful, because guess what? We're not blocking. We're not deleting. YouTube is, because they are moderating as they should. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Beige people, year 3000. But listen, why do you care about rich people going to space? I honestly don't care. When you sent this over to me and you're like, I don't want to talk about the other stories.
Right.
Let's talk about the billionaires' race to
100%.
space.
100%.
So why do you want to talk about this?
100%. Because this is something that people should be concerned about right now.
Should they be concerned about this?
You're sitting there talking about a beige future and how the world's gonna be beige, and I'm talking about something that's real about
Wait a second.
future.
Say what I'm saying. Right. I'm saying the world's going to be beige because of Drake's Certified Lover.
No matter what you said, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm talking about something that is real life and is concerning to the future.
Why is it concerning?
Listen, we're talking about these billionaires and their race to space, which has been sold to us as, well, Elon Musk said, he wants to create a civilization up there just in case, because he sees the direction the world is going and it won't be habitable. And all these billionaires talk about they want us to explore space because there's so much more out there that we could probably live on and live off of, and all these. And I looked at this article and never once, honestly, never once did I not believe that was the purpose why these guys were doing it. Did I think there was money involved? Absolutely. But not until I read this article did I realize just how much money is really involved with this whole space travel. And we spoke before and I said it. Billionaires can be the nicest people in the world. They can. At the end of the day, in order to become a billionaire, you have to be selfish. You have to always be thinking business-minded. And the fact that my stuff got reaffirmed right here is great, because I'm reading this article, and this article is letting me know that there's trillions of dollars worth of materials. There's tax things that their guys are talking about behind the scenes. And there's money in tourism. They're going to do space tourism and all of these things, man. I didn't know about any of this stuff. This is why this is interesting to me.
Well, $250,000 a ticket. Listen, I was just having a conversation with a random person today on the phone. I say, hey, you hear about this? They say, yeah, man. I'm like, would you go? They're like, if I had the money, 250 racks, I would go. I would go too, but I'm not going yet. Give me like 3 years. Let me see some real tests and all that, some consistency. Who wouldn't want to go to space? Now, and also, they didn't go to space. They were like right on the border. It's like, Port Union. Port Union is real close to like Durham. It's not Durham, but it's right there. They went to Port Union, all right? If you know, you know. But
right.
Close enough. But
I mean, these guys are having pissing contests. They're having little pissing contests according to this thing because, of course, we spoke about Bezos saying that he was going to go to space. And what I'm guessing is that Richard Branson watched our podcast, as most people do.
Of course.
Because he saw our podcast and said, no, Mr. Bezos, I will be going to space 9 days before you all of a sudden, and decided that he was going to go to a certain height up in the sky and call that space in his own terms which was 55 miles up.
It's high.
It's high, but by definition, space is 62 miles up.
So not space.
I mean, he got high up though. He was really up there.
He got
really high.
He got into the space between where he was and space.
Like
Not
the purgatory.
Let's call it right in the gray. Right in the gray.
right.
With Liam Neeson and the Wolves, right in the gray.
Hey, but 9
listen,
days before Bezos.
Listen, these billionaires having, as you put it, their pissing contests, whipping it out, doing the measuring, seeing which one is longer. Who would do the measuring for that contest? Anyways, why are you risking your life? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna.
If you had the money, you would do it. If you had the money, you would do it.
Not right away. If I had the money, I would fund it. I would support it. I would put my name on it, everything. And then I'd send a whole bunch of monkeys. And then I will graduate to the beige people that are coming.
Oh my God.
And then once like I seen enough test flights successfully. All right, yeah, cool. I'm gonna hop in. Wasn't this like the second one? Or was it the first? Was it the first?
This was not the first, actually. It's so good. It's what should be noted here is that there was a millionaire named Dennis Tito who actually in 2001 went 240 miles above Earth. So they're not the
I bet you none of these people have even like went on a roller coaster before. They're just like zero.
It's so good. It's so good what people consider important. But this is the thing. Okay. Now to the part that actually concerns our future. Eventually, because of the way this is going right now, somebody is going to have control of this. Somebody's going to have this under their belt. And we've seen how they've come for Facebook. We've seen how they've tried to come for Amazon, for being a monopoly, for having no competition in this. If somebody holds this type of power, the power to space and all the minerals and all that type of stuff out there, what do you think this could mean? Like, what do you think you don't think this is dangerous? You think this is cool for the world? You don't see the harm in that?
I would say if you want to have some sort of massive gun and missile, or I guess laser fight, nuclear fight, have it in space as far away from Earth as possible. That's what I would say, if you're asking me. But the reality is like when you say that these billionaires are saying the world is going to be uninhabitable soon, hello. Like if you think that that's false, well, all I would ask you to do is just, I don't know, just breathe and just think about it for a second. Just be, if you have a pulse, you know this. So I encourage this type of exploration. I do. Get us to Mars. Get us to Mars. Get those civilizations going.
I don't like the greed involved in it.
We're not going to be here much longer. Get us to Mars.
Oh,
now, once that technology gets to a space where they're starting to build these low and high rise condos and subway trains and, the 3-titty girl from Total Recall, once that's a real thing, everybody's on Mars. That's where it could be a little dangerous, because at least here on the planet Earth, everybody's got their borders. Russia, you got your space. North Korea, you got your space. America, you got yours. I get to see you coming. The space has already been divvied up by the way, shake the stuff moved around tectonic plates. But
Total Recall is a perfect example, though.
Yeah,
that's a perfect example, because they even had the scene where they take away the oxygen from the people, and everything is controlled by.
This is what I'm saying. That's where it can get. So what you have to say to yourself is, will it be a situation where it's who gets to Mars first and who kind of makes the first livable place? Like, do they now just own the planet? Because if America gets to Mars first and they create their first livable place, does that mean Russia can't go there and just take down the street type of thing? And
if somebody gets to Mars first, it's not going to be a country. It's going to be whatever person gets there first. Trust me. That's why these billionaires are doing this.
I know, but this is what I'm saying, though. So if America gets there first and they create, like, even if it's a small inhabitable place, now North Korea says, hey, I'm going to Mars too. Is America going to have a problem with that? Because Mars isn't divvied up. Is America going to be like, cool, you could be here, but just go on the other side of that rock? I don't want to see your ass.
Right.
So now is that going to turn into a thing?
I'm telling you, what's going to happen is one person is going to get to this planet first and be able to capitalize on it. Like, and it's not going to be a country. It's going to be a billionaire. It's going to be one of these rich ass guys who have the time to focus on this nonstop. You know what I'm saying? And when they get there and they claim it as their own, they're going to start selling off pieces. So yeah, US and North Korea could have property on there if they pay the right price.
Yeah, yeah. A billionaire might get there first, but there's no way they're going to own the planet. If that billionaire,
who's going to stop them? If
that billionaire is American,
can't come back to Earth.
Yeah, no. Well, no, right? But, but listen. If that billionaire is American, if that billionaire is Russian, you know who's going to stop them? That country, their origin country. Because cool, I got there first, nigga. So what? We got guns, we got tanks. What you gonna do? We coming.
I mean, I know. I just realized at the end of the day, you do have to come back to Earth.
Yes,
at some point.
We coming. So yeah, cool. You got there first, but guess what, nigga? You working for us.
Land in a different country, yo. You find me in Peru,
seriously.
Paraguay.
Man. But look, none of this is gonna matter because the world's gonna be all kumbaya when the base children come.
Anyways, so viewing public, I'm gonna end this one because he's just gonna. I swear, there's gonna be another reference. I'm gonna end this one. So viewing public, you know, what do you think about this, man? These billionaires going to space. Do you see this as a dangerous thing, something that could harm us in the future as a potential, or do you see this as something that's great, something that is gonna happen eventually? You know. It's good that we know about it. And, you know, if I had enough money, I would want to go too. Are you on that side? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't say nothing. No, we're not giving you nothing else, man. You're good. You said everything you need to say. So we want to leave it to the public to put it in the comments. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day, man. All right. 2 guys doing a podcast. We are out. Deuces. Hey, thanks for watching that video, man. One thing we need you to do, I need you to like, I need you to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and please drop a comment and join in on the conversation.
Absolutely. We are trying to get to our goal of 500 and beyond.
Sure.
As you can see, we are almost there. And that video, that little icon there, I need you to click on that, watch the next video, like, rinse, and repeat. 2 Guys Doing a Podcast. Deuces.